Let me at him!
Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to Game 3 between Tiger and Xelsing, the Orc Mirror. Blimey, these guys have had some tight, tense games, and is this third one going to be even more clenching? I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I want to see just how this one plays out. It is on Twisted Meadows, my favourite map. Basically the best map on Warcraft 3. Let's face it. It is insane just how gorgeous and opportunistic. That isn't a word. Opportunistic. There you go. I didn't need an extra syllable there. How many things... Well, how much you can do on this map. And maybe that might affect how these two, you know, go about things. I want to make sure my sound is working. It didn't sound like it's working. I'm not hearing anything build. But, ah well. Hopefully the sound kicks in. There's no reason why the sound shouldn't be working, but... who knows? I can hear the music, but I can't really hear much sound. So I assume that both players are going to be going for Blade Master and a Grunts. So we got yellow versus red again. It is back. Yeah, it is kind of quiet, isn't it? I don't hear any peons chopping the wood. Yet my sound... There we go. There we go. It was on though the first time I checked and I still didn't hear it. I think that's just a slight weird glitch. But anyway. We've got scouts going for both players. It looks like, unless this is just something that's coincidentally happened, they're scouting in a clockwise pattern. So that's something to bear in mind potentially. If you're curious, if you play 1 versus 1 and you're not exactly sure what to do, like me, then think to scout clockwise on Twisted Meadows. Because that's exactly what both of these players are doing. And neither of them are going to find each other anytime soon. So both players are probably going to want to pop over to the shop, buy themselves a Circlet of Nobility, but one of the curious things is how they're going to creep. Orc are very good at taking on these middle orange creep camps with like a Blade Master and a Grunt. They can take that down pretty quickly and get a good item to go with it. So Circlet of Nobility and Dust of Appearance for Xelsing, so it looks like he's going aggressive. Meanwhile, Tiger's going for that middle creep camp. Like I was mentioning with the Blade Master and the Grunt. You go for the Wardens, they can go down pretty damn quickly. It's the Overseer that drops the item though. So it's the key really to picking up the item there, and this is going to be a very good start right now for Xelsing. Getting a successful creep camp there. Forcing Tiger back, he's going to now have to blow his money on a healing salve that he can't even buy right now. So Xelsing looking very strong right now. Yeah. That's put Tiger back quite a lot. Xelsing can just basically monitor him, say, yep, I'm watching you. I know exactly what you're doing. So the healing salve goes off on Tiger, and it's going to force a wind walk. Both players throwing down their Dust of Appearance. Xelsing should just go for it. Just go for that Blade Master. At least tap him once. Don't let him get away with that healing. Who cares about the grunts? Who cares? So we got a tech here. And no tech for Tiger, but he will be able to tech in just a second, so I assume he's going to do it. By the way, if you see those pings go off, that's less legit for map hack, cough map hack. It's not. Because when it comes to Blade Masters and you've clicked on them and then they disappear, it still registers it as though you are clicking on it, something you can't see, but that's because it went invisible. So there is some truth to it, but that's just the way it works with Blade Masters, units that go invisible. So, we got Boost of Speed was picked up by Xelsing. He was victorious in the battle between the two Blade Masters on who could pick up the Boost of Speed. Meanwhile, Tiger has got himself a Scroll of Speed, so maybe that makes up for it in some sort of way, but not really. So, what are the names? We've got Kagami, but I prefer Xelsing's Blade Master more. Daisho. I feel like calling him Daisho. Daisho sounds quite exotic, but really, he's called Dasho. And Dasho's... I make it sound so common, don't I? It's Dasho, innit? Yeah, Dasho's a proper good Blade Master, he is. Well hard. Fucking love Dasho. He's like well fast and stuff. Anyway, enough of me rambling. They're both... they want to creep. They don't really want to have this weird stalemate that they're having, but at the same time they can't creep because they have to have this stalemate because they can't let each other creep. So who's going to do the damage they need to do? Xelsing so far winning the Blade Master war there. Grunt's getting a few hits here and there on the Blade Master, but meanwhile trying to reduce the amount of damage any one Grunt takes, because otherwise it could be chased by the Blade Master and picked off for experience. Xelsing once again being victorious in harassing Tiger. Oh, he's taken quite a bit of damage there from the Grunts though. There was a bit of running back and forth there. It means Tiger's going to come back in here, and he does actually manage to get a hit there on Xelsing's Blade Master before he managed to get the wind walk away. Oh, we've got a scroll of speed. There it is. And he's going to use this scroll of speed to possibly pick off a Grunt. He's going to use his Grunts to do some decent damage, but his Blade Master has to return, and he's got no healing salves, so he's going to have to return back to his base to buy one from the shop. Both players should be pretty much hitting tier 2. We've definitely got that for Xelsing. He's been very good at getting his tier 2 production buildings more or less straight away. So I'm going to see that right now. Bestiary? No, it's the Spirit Lodge. I think Spirit Lodge actually does take longer than the Bestiary to build. I'm not sure really which one you go for first though, which is typically the first one. It looks like the Bestiary is lowest priority for Xelsing, because he's going for the Shadow Hunter first and then the Spirit Lodge. So that's something you've got to bear in mind, is with Orc, you normally have enough resources to build a Bestiary and a Spirit Lodge, but not your second hero as well. So you can either make a choice. You can go for the second hero and one of the production buildings, and then the following production building. And I think that might be the best choice. It depends how many mini battles you are having between each other. Oh, lovely job there. Tiger denying experience there, killing his own Grunt to stop Xelsing. And Xelsing's not doing good on experience. His Blade Master is only about 15% of the way through that bar, if that. However, he is making up for this slightly by creeping his camp whilst keeping his opponent busy. So his Grunts have been doing some good work for him, and he should be able to notch up to hopefully level 2 with this level 5 kill and potentially a good item. He's been very fortunate with his items so far in these games, so we'll see how he gets on. Ooh, okay. His luck's changing. Ring of Protection +2. It makes me grimace a little bit seeing that, because one, it's not a particularly good item, and two, it's really not a very good item for Blade Master, because Blade Master has very high armor anyway in the first place. Because he's an agility based hero, he has one of the highest armor. What? What is he doing? Just attack it. I guess he's not really paying attention to it. He's paying attention to what's going on over here. And his Blade Master's just like, do, bumping into the back of the Grunt, and the Grunt just doesn't even care. Okay, that's a lot of damage done to Tiger's Blade Master, but one healing salve will fix him right up. However, he can't wait too long, because it feels like Xelsing was going to make a move for that creep camp. But if Xelsing backs off, then that gives Tiger some time to benefit from his healing salve. So, what have we got going on here? We've got Scroll of Speed and 2 healing cells on that Shadow Hunter. Bestiary is now being complete. We've got Raiders coming out with Ensnare to follow, more burrows to fill up towards that 50 food cap. We've got Spirit Walker there for Xelsing. He's pulling back the creep camp here to safely creep it. Looks like Tiger's moving in here. Should be able to notch himself up to level 2 here with the Blade Master, get himself some extra crit. But you don't get any items for this creep camp, so that's all you really do it for, is just a bit of experience. We've got Spirit Walkers and Raider Ensnare as well for Tiger, so looking pretty mirror matchy at the moment. It's gone a bit calm now. There's a lot of tension between the two players, but this is the part where now it's going to come down to a PvE content race. It's up to both of them to creep, and to creep hard and fast, and well, whoever does it better and whoever gets luckier with the items is pretty much going to have the bigger advantage in this game. Ooh, Lion Horn of Stormwind. Now, some people might argue that's a good item for Orc. I still probably would not. I don't think it's that impactful. I think it's one of the worst aura items. And it feels like it's going to get sold, but it doesn't. Not yet. I could be wrong, to be honest, but oh no, it got passed over to the Shadow Hunter. So the Shadow Hunter is top priority. An extra 1 armor for him at all times, and anyone else within his range. It's not bad. It's not a terrible one, but there's better ones, you know. Legion Doom Horn, that's better. Scroller healing at the moment for Xelsing, and he's moving towards his expansion. I'm not sure if he's going to do anything with it. Orcs don't typically get expansions until mid to late game, I suppose, when they pretty much have to and start breaking past the 50 food cap. But that's one of the downfalls of getting an expansion, is you need an extra 5 peons to mine. Whereas Orc like to stay 50 food, and if they stay at 50 food with that extra 5 peons, that's less of an army size. So when they have these little scuffles between each other, that's less units you've got, and also less peons to take off your mineral line or your wood line. So how are they doing for wood? Not fantastic. Got a Kodo coming out now For we've got Xelsing sitting here by his expansion, looking somewhat bewildered, but moving into position. Might be an idea to creep this camp. It's very nearby. Would probably notch him up to level 3, and by probably I mean definitely, and also get him a nice item to boot, unless it's something terrible, but it shouldn't be, because typically when you creep this golem camp by the Goblin Laboratory, you almost always get a nice item. This is a nice little arc here. Good pullback, good ensnare. It means this camp is going to be less intrusive for Xelsing, and we're going to keep an eye on him, see what he gets. Looks like Tiger's picked up Potion of Greater Healing. That's a good item to have on either of your heroes, really. Whoever you think is going to take the most damage. An extra 500 health in one burst can basically very heavily mitigate a lot of your opponent's strategic play. So if they're trying to focus on doing heavy damage to your hero, and they take a lot of damage on their units, and you just take 500 health and take yourself back up to full health immediately, then you've just done a ton of the damage to their units, and they're now in a bad spot, because essentially all that damage they've done to your hero was kind of worthless. And this poor little raider's going to be getting picked off. Ooh, another one might get picked off. Tiger in a nice aggressive position here. Although, if Xelsing can pull off some nice Kodo devours, he might be able to pull something out of this. But he's losing raiders left, right and centre. This isn't looking good. Tiger's got both level 3 heroes. Level 2 healing waves is going to be a big deal in the battle to come. But as I mentioned before, you have got the shop. You can see it's focusing the Shadow Hunter, who will be picking up Clarity Potions and Potions of Mana and maybe Scrolls of Speed, which has been used right now by both players. So that's why the chase wasn't committed there by Xelsing. He didn't choose to carry on chasing because his opponent was also using a Scroll of Speed. If his opponent didn't have a Scroll of Speed, he probably would have continued that chase. The tension, it is tight. Just these two players, the battles have been tight. It's been very fun to watch. Now, I want to see what these two are doing in terms of food cap wise. Okay, 50 food for Tiger. 57 food for Xelsing. It almost looked like Tiger had more units, but Xelsing has obviously got a lot of stuff producing. Kind of. He's got the upgrade going for Kodo, so that's an extra additional lot of damage for your units. So this is another reason why you might not see orcs upgrade units specifically, like the armor or the attack damage, because if they upgrade a Kodo and keep a Kodo within their army, that's going to give far more of a buff for far less. So it's all about efficiency with orc. You stay at 50 food for as long as you can comfortably, and then you start to push towards 60 food. But I rarely see orcs go much further past 60 food, because the rest of their gold is typically spent on items such as potions of invulnerability or scrolls of healing, which they can be reliably built, not building but buying. So because there's 2 shops, and typically there's at least 1 shop on most maps, so there's always items to be bought which are going to be very productive and typically more useful to your army than 1 upgrade. Xelsing sees what's coming. Peons are starting to move in here. Spirit Link needs to be abused, and there it goes. Oh wow, Tiger's just like, nope, not gonna stay in this. Uses a Scroll of Town Portal. 350 gold gone, but a much smarter move except for that. Bit unfortunate, teleporting back behind his base, particularly because it wasn't that much of a rush TP. He rushed the teleport, but he didn't have to rush it. He could have taken more of an opportunity to position where he lands. However, it's just the way it goes. The games aren't easy when you're playing on high level, so it's easy to make mistakes when there's a lot at stake. And Xelsing taking this opportunity with his opponent teleporting back to use a speed tiny Great Hall, which costs 600 gold and 185 wood, so it's a lot of resources. However, if he can get 600 gold back, then well, he's made the most of it. And on a side note, it kind of acts as a distraction for your opponent. So if nothing else, there's this kind of threat of an expansion. However, it doesn't look like Tiger cares too much about that as he's approaching the main base and starting to go for the burrows. Xelsing's going to have to respond to this, but has Xelsing got enough units anymore? 60 food versus 66 food, so we're starting to move up to the 70 food cap here. This is looking really big army-wise. Got Spirit Walkers distributing that Spirit Link loads of Kodos, Grunts, Raiders. It's looking very strong right now, and Peons are starting to run into the mix here with Tiger. It looks very advantageous for Tiger right now if I was just to call it on that position alone, but will Blade Master items or maybe a hero kill change the battle? We'll see. 2 Kodos have been ensnared. That denies them from devouring, so that's a lovely micro move there. But is he going to remember to keep that up and keep his units away from these Kodos? So what are we going to see getting focused here? Raiders typically get focused, Spirit Walkers get focused, and Kodos get focused. Grunts normally are ignored because typically they're not the highest threat priority. Raiders are really because you can bring them down pretty quickly. Spirit Walkers can go into Aetheral form if they're micro correctly, so you can waste a lot of time trying to damage them and then not get anything out of it. So Tiger moving up to level 4. If he gets a crit there, or he doesn't, because Xelsing cleverly uses his invulnerability pop because he knew that he could have taken a lot of damage there in that time that he didn't use it. And the Kodos are now starting to take a lot of damage here. Tiger's going to lose 1 Kodo, or will he? A healing wave disrupting him from getting the kill there. Meanwhile, it does look like Xelsing lost a Kodo. Oh my goodness. That Kodo does actually manage to get to live, which is a really big deal because he's still got a grunt in his belly. Oh, it looks like Xelsing doesn't want to let him get away. He's going to try to bring down this Kodo, but is it going to come at a cost? No, he's not going to be able to do it. And there is a grunt being picked off here as well. So far, very, very strong for Tiger. His units are very well balanced in terms of their health ratios, and he has got 60 more mana to wait on these Shadow Hunter, and then he can heal them all pretty much back to full because it's smart healing. And the best thing about this is he's in his opponent's base. So where do you go from here? You destroy his base. I imagine that's, well, Xelsing got his 600 gold now from that mine. So yeah, I think he probably did, or close to it. But unfortunately it's come at a cost. That's 600 gold that could have gone towards an army, and Tiger did the right thing. He decided to just go for it, and he didn't want to get distracted. He didn't want to expand. He just wanted to obliterate his opponent, and that's pretty much what he's done. He spent that extra resources on the extra couple of units, and you can see it's paid off big time for him. He's got a really large army. He's going to be doing a lot of damage to this base. Once again, we go to base race mode because Xelsing knows he cannot take that army, and we're going to see a change of pace here. A full-blown teleport back there for Tiger, forcing his opponent back. Meanwhile, it looks like, oh well, I suppose that was still worth it. I reckon Tiger still doesn't know about this expansion. We're going to see what his Fog of War is like. Yeah, he has no knowledge of this expansion. So he was assuming that, yep, I've killed this main base, I can teleport safely back now, job done. To be quite frank, I don't think he's in too much trouble anyway, even with this expansion that Xelsing has. And he's making the most of the gold that he's got from that expansion to pick up merc units because, well, there's not much else he can build from his base apart from grunts. So he's going to make the most of those mercs as best as he can, but I still favour Tiger a little bit. And he's got those peons, don't forget the peons. They're very crucial. And, ooh, Raiders ensnare. This is why it's horrible to fight against Orc when you're losing. They are horrible to fight against when you're losing because essentially they can get lots of free kills. And there's not really much you can do about it. Ensnare lasts a bloody long time. So, yeah, he basically gets 2 units for free just for having Raiders in his army. So, it's a huge deal. Although, having said that, you have got humans with slow on their Sorks. Xelsing. Not like he was going to get to kill this Blade Master. Or will he? If he does... Oh my god! 9 health escape there for Tiger. I was going to say if he does, that is exactly what he needed to give himself an opportunity to get back into the game here. He could take down the burrows and try to stop Tiger from getting his hero back. He really needed that hero kill. If he got that, he's still outnumbered, but taking down the Blade Master is a huge deal. Xelsing now trapped within the base, forcing another Scroll of Town portal. This is gold going down the pan. He's losing units in the process, and that army is just bigger than my entire screen. That's crazy. It's looking really, really good for Tiger right now. Xelsing just looking... What can he do other than give himself opportunities to try to prolong the game, maybe get his main base back up? I'm surprised Tiger hasn't decided to just yet send 1 unit to scout for a potential expansion. He must be a bit suspicious at this point, particularly when the mercs were picked up. unless he was expecting sloppy macro from his opponent, not spending his gold. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. It looks like he's going for a scout here. Is he going to commit to it? Is he going to get distracted? Xelsing just in the back of Tiger's base, trying to hide within the trees here, hoping he can't see me, right, can he? Oh, yes, he can. And he's trying to go for the burrows, because apparently that's one of the main things you do in an Orc versus Orc when you're losing, or at least even when you're winning. You get to a certain point where it's just like, yep, time to kill burrows. He's doing some creeping, which is a smart move because it's going to give him some gold back as well as items and experience. So he's doing the best he can whilst he's distracting with his Blade Master. But Tiger has spotted this expansion, and that means additional experience for this Blade Master, which could mean potentially a level 5 Blade Master, which could mean, well, level 3 Windwalk or level 3 Crit, depending on how he wants to play it. Yeah, nasty business. If he goes for the Windwalk, he'll be able to keep up with his opponent's Blade Master wherever it goes. He'll be able to chase him down very, very quickly. All of these units for Tiger. And he's almost level 5 in the Shadow Hunter, so it's not like Xelsing's got a hero advantage and has that going for him. Tiger also has the hero advantage. And he's about to get that level 5 in that Blade Master. Oh, there it is. Xelsing desperately trying to protect his last peon. But Tiger says no. Gets the last hit and immediately windwalks. That was a very nice timed windwalk there. So well timed, to be honest, that you didn't even see him do the attack animation. Little things like this I can really appreciate. It's not like it was game breaking or game changing him doing that, but it's just a little thing that just looks really cool when you know what it is that he did. Ah, there you go. That's a GG. Xelsing throwing down the GG, which means Tiger picks up the 2-1 victory in this best of 3 series between Tiger and Xelsing. Oh my goodness. Well, Orc mirror matches are very much a mirror match in every sense of the term. Very, very similar. But I didn't find that boring. I found that pretty exciting because you have your tense battles. It comes down to the Blade Master RNG luck with the items. It makes it exciting. And then you get base races. So pretty good. It comes down to the wire in all of those games. So very exciting and fun to watch. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, like and comment. Support the channel. You can go to patreon.com, check out the rewards. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you can pledge a small amount and get yourself access to an extra video for the month. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. See you later and bye-bye.